Let's talk about the process of defining your brand as you go through. You have a brand, even if you don't know it, as you go through, and it really should be the logo and all the concepts behind that logo. Really, by the time it's done, they're inseparable, and just that picture will all of a sudden flash multiple words as you go through. I'm a playwright as well as some other things that I do. And when I first became a playwright, I did my first musical comedy as you go through. And it was really hard. I wrote 26 different songs in the process. I had to throw 7 of them out because they just didn't cut the mustard as you go through. But that being said, on that note, so to speak, did you get the note? Anyway, so that being said, I went through in the process and I was looking for an opening song. And I thought, here's a really cool song from the 50s and everything else. And I was advised by my best advisor. He said, be careful about using music, even older music, because of the fact that that music may associate memories with somebody else, and they'll bring those memories into the theater with them as soon as you click that over here. You want them to focus on your music, and your concept. Don't have the old concept dragged into your concept. The same thing's true with your brand. Your brand is a big thing as you go through. You need to develop it and live it by the time it's all done. Your reputation begins with your brand, and your logo shows your brand. When they see your image, your style of your store, your business as they go through, it should bring instantly to mind positive images as you go through, not a screwed up order, not an argument with the customer, it should be positive, and it should be a reason that they want to come back to you and tell people about you as you go through. Finding your first customer, action speaks louder than words as you go through. Doing what you say will establish a reputation. I really believe part of my brand is always keeping my word and follow through. Those are big things for me in the process. That being said, what are the big things for you? And are you living the things that you really believe in as you go through? Cautions: make certain when you first set your business up, are you going to compete on price? There's an expectation if you're going to go fight people tooth and nail for the cheapest price to get the more customers. That's an image as you go through. Are you going to be all things to all people? You got to pay attention to that as well. If you're going to sell clothing, if somebody asks for, can you get a top with this as well? And you promise them that you do it, you need to do what you say you're going to do, or they won't trust you ever again. They may still buy stuff from you, but they would buy more. But in the back of their mind, right back over here, they're saying, I can't believe what he says or she says in the process as you go through. They just don't follow through. All of a sudden, your brand can't be trusted and follow through and everything. They still carry good stuff, though. Okay, it'd be better if they carry good stuff and they follow through, and they can always get what I want. That's a different brand than they don't always follow through. Decide what you want to have, and then be what you are saying you want to be as you go through. So build a brand. Apple, you get an Apple anything, all of a sudden you get this whole thing. And I don't know about you, they have the coolest boxes and packaging of anybody on planet Earth. Seriously, buy an Apple thing just because of the box and take it apart. Throw the phone away or the iPad away. That's not important. Look at the box as you go through. That being said, they have this beautiful white box. It's wrapped with this transparent wrapper on the outside. You sit down and you open it up, and then the box is hard to open because it's engineered so tight. It slides up eventually, and then on the inside is a foam pad on top of the cool thing underneath. You remove the foam pad, and there is your iPad, your computer, your phone sitting there, and you go, oh, yes, it is that good. Yes, the package is that good. The Apple gives you that sense automatically of, whoa, I got something really good here. Look at the box. Yes. And you just like a 3-year-old, so you play with the box rather than the toy that's on the inside as you go through. Then you look at it, and there's a certain sense of elegance when you open up Apple. They set the stage, and then they fulfill what they say. Here's the cool box. Here's the packaging. Here is the cool thing you bought. You bought an Apple product as you go through. It took an awful lot of thinking as to how they wanted to position themselves to look like they're worth $1 million. And by the way, some of the phones cost that much as you go through. But that being said, so branding helps us identify products, the organization, and to choose them over the competition over here. Apple went to an extreme. They started charging so much for a phone. A phone cost $1,000. You know what? They can cut it over here sometimes in the United States, but they lost their business in India. The whole economy couldn't support phones like that, and all of a sudden Samsung and multiple other phones, they started losing customers to other phones that paid attention to who the market was. So all of a sudden Apple, duh, okay, but not everybody can afford $1,000, so they had to scale down the phones, come out with other versions that were super high tech, but a lot more inexpensive as you go through. Pay attention to your branding. Make certain you're not so full of yourself, what you're so successful that you forget where you came from as you go through. Branding definition is the purpose, values, and there's a promise as you go through. It's a positioning statement, and it really is the aspect of your name, tone of voice, the visual design as you go through, and that includes the logo in the process. Advertising, I always make fun of this picture in the bottom right-hand corner. You can see 4 hokey people that sit down, and you'll see that 2 of them are actually employees of Honda. And they're giving shirts out to a couple gals who sat there, and they paid for them to sit down there and renovate a large area for baseball as you go through the process. In this particular one, Honda has this really hokey commercial process of the helpful Honda people. So they don't even talk about buying the car hardly at all. They talk about the fact, us Honda people out there will help in the community. Gee, can I help you? And they spend $30,000 on this cheesy commercial, and they give away $20,000 to somebody, spend $10,000 creating it. They don't pay anybody. They have a spokesperson fee for the people that are receiving it. But other than that, though, it's all a couple of salespeople that work at Honda as you go through, or support people. They're out there and everything else. But you know what? It works as they go through. As soon as you see that blue shirt, you think, helpful Honda people, helpful Honda people. You keep on chanting that, and they've been running the commercial now for over 5 years. It's highly successful, and it's not about the car, it's about the helpful Honda people as you go through. They're selling people and their people skills, their people service, their people involvement in the community over their cars, and the cars happen to come along for the ride. Pretty good branding, isn't it, as you go through? So watch for sponsoring and partnership opportunities as you go through. The product and packaging design is a big deal as you go through the process and everything else. And think about the different things when it comes down to your branding tools, the in-store experience, the workspace experience, the customer service, and your pricing strategy. Brands are a composite of every aspect and every range. The image is everything in the world of brand as you go through. First, find your first customer. Let them see your identity and then live up to it and create purpose, value, and a promise to define your brand. Take care.